Greetings, fellow Gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about the Shudder original horror film, Death Valley, which is not very good, unfortunately. No. I'm coming right out the gate with that because this is one of those rare horror movies that I watched, and I found zero redeeming value, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which is rare for me.
Yeah.
You guys watch my show. You guys watch my vlogs. You guys watch me and Jack talk about movies all the time. There are so many times where he doesn't like the movie and I still like something about the movie. I'm sitting here going, this movie is bad.
Yeah, it's oh man.
Basically, the movie is about a group of soldiers that are tasked with saving this one scientist in this underground bunker somewhere in Russia.
All right, pause right there. Because that's all true.
Yeah.
And none of that. Now, Russia. The movie is called Death Valley.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be set in Death Valley.
Death Valley, and then all of a sudden we're like in Belarus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then why did you call it Death Valley?
In a forest.
Yeah. And it's like, it's technically in a valley because there are mountains on either side.
Okay, fair point.
But
yeah.
like...
We're also in a bunker underneath it.
Yeah, and it's just like, if it had been a bunker underneath Death Valley, that'd qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, if you're gonna call it Death Valley, then shouldn't it be in the place called Death Valley?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the whole point?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's nowhere, it's not even set in America. You know?
Nope.
And for some reason, it exists in a Russia where everyone speaks English with a Russian accent.
That's true.
Like sometimes they speak Russian, but often when they're talking amongst themselves, they're talking like this, Gomrad. And you're like, why did we even bother?
Well, actually, for most of the movie, they speak Russian to one another.
Yeah, but there are a lot of times when they're speaking in English in bad Russian accents.
Oh yeah, that happens sometimes too.
Oh man.
And basically there's been a zombie outbreak inside the bunker and a monster outbreak inside the bunker. So basically you kind of get like a low rent Resident Evil by way of Doom going on here.
Yeah.
And I really mean low rent because the movie has one good effect, and that's for the key monster. And it just uses that same guy in the same suit for every other monster throughout the movie.
Yeah.
With the exception of the low-grade zombies they encounter.
Yeah, the guy in the monster suit's actually the director of the movie.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
That is the best part of the movie is that monster. It looks good. Mm-hmm. It's cool. It's not in enough of the movie. They spend 30 minutes of this movie dealing with the Russians and the Americans shooting each other in a really bad rendition of the Vietnam scenes of Platoon.
Oh my God. I still remember. Okay, so... All right, so we start out with this very, kind of generic, oh my God, we gotta escape the fucking closing door thing kind of beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then, once we're done with that, we cut to our main characters, and this is when the real sinking feeling starts to settle in. So like, oh God, these are our protagonists. And they're like mercenaries.
Yeah.
And then they fight Russians in a forest for no shit 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's a good third of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like a 90-minute movie and it takes up a third of it.
Yeah, and you just sort of like, this has nothing to do with monsters so far.
Nope.
Well, I mean, you know that monsters are involved because you kind of got the feeling that they were from the beginning. But there's just 20 minutes of guys shooting at each other and ducking fire and grenades exploding.
Oh yeah, they treat it like it's fucking Platoon, like it's one of those really dramatic slow motion scenes.
Yeah, but it's not.
Because you don't care about any of the characters because half of these members of their platoon you don't actually get to really know, and they kind of look like indistinguishable from one another.
Yeah.
But more so than that, the characters that we do get to know, the actors have zero charisma. You know, they're trying to exchange this witty banter between one another, but none of them have the charisma to pull off any of the lines. So
yeah, and it's even doubtable whether that would have helped enough.
Exactly. You know, they don't so you're just sitting there kind of annoyed because these characters have zero reason for you to watch them.
Yeah, because it's not even, this isn't even a so bad it's good.
No, it's not.
You know, like that's what upset. That's
the only reason to watch this movie is if you're an effects person who does effects and wants to see the monster. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all you got.
The story is bad. This is bad.
Yep.
The
writing is really bad. They'll have moments where they will explain something in a very expository scene, and then in the following scene, after the characters already had it explained to them, they'll be asking what the fuck is going on, and then another character will explain everything that the previous scene already explained.
Yeah, also the oh god. Okay, so they find this woman in the bunker, who's the woman in the very first scene of the movie.
Yeah, she's the scientist they're
looking for. Yeah, the scientist that they're trying to extract. Her motivation makes sense, but her behavior all the way up to the reveal of that motivation is completely at odds with that motivation.
Yeah, like, you know, like some movies have like twists in the third act, and they're big twists, and then you go back and you rewatch the first two acts and you go like, oh shit, there were clues towards this leading up to it and all that stuff, and everything makes sense. That's why this character did this, that's why this character did that, blah, blah, blah. This movie, you go, okay, well, first off, this twist was very telegraphed throughout the movie, so I kind of saw it coming. But more so than that, the character's behavior does not match the final twist.
Yeah,
you don't have that like Fight Club moment where you go back and go, "Oh shit, this makes sense here."
Exactly. You know, we were like, "Oh,
yeah, that's why this character did this. That's why that happened." Instead, you go back and you go like, "Okay, well, if that's true. Now that you've told us that, why did she do this? Why did she do that? Why did she do this? This doesn't make any sense."
And the answer is so pretty much so that the audience wouldn't figure it out.
Yeah. Even though they're hardcore telegraphing the twist.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Oh boy. Like I was really honestly expecting something a lot more out of this.
Oh yeah, me too. Because I saw the one still on like Twitter of that monster.
Yeah.
I thought, I was like, that looks cool. I'll watch that.
Yeah. It's a bunch of guys in the desert fighting a brain monster.
Yeah.
You know, okay, sure.
Little did I know that was going to be the only thing that's in the movie that has anything.
Yeah. I also, like, there's just really not much to the story.
No.
You know, even at the final twist, you're just sort of like, well, all right. But then, because of the final twist, you wonder why other things didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like there's a lot of it's in the script.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a lot of, well, this happened because it was in the script.
Yeah.
You know, and
there's a lot of padding throughout this. Like,
yeah, quick, let's do close-ups of people like crawling in tunnels, but try to keep the camera tight enough that you don't realize that they're actually just like in a corner by the wall, you know, except sometimes the camera fucks up and like you see, like, why aren't you standing up? There's clearly headroom, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Jesus.
So this movie's currently available on Shudder. I do not recommend it, but if you want to go see The Wretched Truth for yourself, get on Shudder and go check it out. Good luck.
Yeah.
There's no dead animals that I recall. And with that said, let's move on to the spoilers.
Okay, so like the scientist that they're getting out of the bunker, turns out she's the other experiment.
Yeah, basically, over the course of this movie, you find out, and this is hammered into your head because it's explained 3 goddamn times. 2 characters that still don't somehow get it. The scientists in this bunker uncovered something in ice, brought it to this bunker, and then started doing these gene splicing experiments on humans with this weird creature they found in the ice.
Right.
You know, so it's like it's got like a like the Thing or something like that, right?
Yeah, like, you know? And also everything relative to the experiment is given like an Old Testament biblical name.
Yeah, they called it like the
Nephilim.
Nephilim.
Yeah, so like I thought that maybe by the end of the movie some fucked up angel shit was gonna, like, we were at least gonna get Jerusalem levels.
No. You don't even get to see the creature in the ice. Like,
no,
I thought they were
they just tell you about it.
Like, I expected them, like, I imagined in my head a scene where they came across a room with like a really small window, and like the characters look into it, and it's just like, oh shit, that's the creature, whatever. And they like don't know how to describe it, and it's like fucking them up, but they never show the audience or something.
Yeah, at least something.
Like something like that. I expected at least that.
Yeah.
Like going the Lovecraft route where it's indescribable or something like that. Like, but they didn't even do that. You don't even get to see that. You just get to see that, like, oh, the ultimate experiment was this woman, and this woman is now pregnant, and if she leaves, she might infect other people. That was another thing that wasn't really clear to me. Did she like bite these other people and infect all of them? Like, or was one of the other creatures another escapee? Like, I don't know. I
don't know.
But like, okay, so you find out that she's the creature that escaped. She is Adam, the main creature that from all the other creatures are coming from. I'm like, okay, all right. So these creatures listen to her and they talk to her, and you see that confirmed later on when the creature actually does respond to her.
Communicate with them.
So why was the creatures attacking them this entire time?
Yeah,
number one,
especially since her primary motivation is to escape the facility.
Yeah. Was this just an elaborate ruse to trick the soldiers? That seems like she could have done it in a way that didn't put herself actually in danger.
Well, the funny thing is that there's a point at which you're like, does this monster have super strength or not?
Yeah. There's also a scene where they come across another person, another one of the soldiers who's been turned, and they're turning, and she puts them out of their misery because they're going to turn and they're going to attack us and we can't do that or whatever. And I'm like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Given what you've just now told us about her. Like,
yeah. Like, why would she... Oh no. Not another fucking unstoppable ghoul under my command. What?
It was so weird. It was so weird.
Yeah, because you're wondering, like, why does she need these two guys alive at this point?
Yeah, I don't know.
And there's a point at which she could clearly escape while the fucking main character is doing a soliloquy, and I'm like, leave!
Yeah.
You literally can just leave the facility at this moment. Nothing is stopping you. Not even this guy's gun and his dumb soliloquy. But you're gonna stand there anyway, for no reason.
And the movie's so padded. Like,
yeah.
Like, you get this first scene where the soldiers come across this tape recorder that tells them that entire thing I just told you. Scientists found something in the ice. They brought it back to the facility. They spliced it with humans. And they're called Nephilims. And the original one is Adam. Like everything I just told you.
Yeah, and like I was kind of hoping that they would at least go somewhere with that, where like I said, that was going to be like evil, fucked up zombie angels or something.
And then the very next scene, they run into one of the creatures, and they run into the girl, and then they start screaming at the girl, "What the fuck is going on? Explain to me what's happening here." And then she gives the explanation, and it's repeat word for word everything they just listened to on the tape recorder.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, okay, I get that it's realistic that a character might not necessarily believe it at first, and then something happens and they start freaking out. But did we really need, as audience members, two explanations, two expository scenes over this?
Two exact ones, because you don't really get any new pertinent information.
No, you really don't. You get like a little bit on like, and there was an outbreak and all that stuff, but then it turns out that was all bullshit because she's the one who's the outbreak.
Yeah, and you just sort of, this movie is bad, and I felt bad, and I feel bad.
It's poorly written.
I don't like it when a movie is this bad, because it's one of those, like, man,
I like liking things.
Yeah, but this is one of those, like, no, man, almost everything was wrong. Almost everything was wrong, and that's really disheartening.
Yeah.
It's like looking, I don't want to look at a piece of art and go like, oh, no, you kind of failed here.
The action isn't exciting. The characters have zero charisma. So like, even if any of the witty lines could work, they don't.
Yeah.
You know, you have a really cool effect, but it ends up being the overused effect because it's the only effect they have.
Yeah. Yeah, and the funny thing is I can just right off the top of my head, if that monster is what you had,
yeah,
you could have just like done a movie where it's just a bunch of soldiers fighting a brain monster in Death Valley, and that probably would have been way better.
Soldiers trapped inside of bunker with monster movie. Lean into the fact that you don't have the budget to do more than that.
Right.
You know, you don't have the budget or maybe spend less money on the fucking shootout sequence at the beginning and more money on like more creatures. Like,
yeah,
because that's what I'm here for. I don't give a shit about the fucking soldier fight at the beginning. You know, I know you're trying to be dog soldiers, but I don't care about any of your characters the way I cared about the characters in Dog Soldiers.
Yeah. All the Dog Soldiers had something you could really like latch on.
Not only were they well written and and was the dialogue really snappy in Dog Soldiers, the actors all had charisma.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, because it's like Sean Pertwee and like, those guys. Those guys
exactly.
Are great.
You know, that was the movie I kept thinking of that they were trying to evoke with this one.
I think you're right, but like, man, I don't like. Look, the title is a lie. The title is wrong, and that kind of everything's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's wrong. Like we're 10 minutes into this movie. We're like, well, I think we owe the audience like a negative review, so I guess we'll review this one.
Sometimes I stick through a really bad movie just so that we can vlog it because I most of my vlogs are positive.
Yeah.
And I will sometimes get comments from people that will be upset that you like everything. I'm like, no, it's just generally I vlog the stuff I really like because I want to tell people about it.
Yeah, I want you to see the movie.
You know, if I don't really like it, I usually don't really want to talk about it because it's not good, so who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
You know, whereas I really want to tell you about the shit that I like. That's just the way I am. But sometimes I like to put some negative vlogs in here just to show people what it's like when we don't like a movie.
Yeah,
know?
just give you what the baseline is.
You know,
when a movie failed to pass the bar.
You know, and for those people that leave those comments, then here you go. Here's me shitting on a movie that I really didn't like because it just wasn't that good.
No, I've seen this movie was as bad as some short films I've seen. You know, and I've seen a lot of bad short films with a lot of really good special effects.
True, yeah. I've seen that too.
And it's upsetting because how do you explain to someone that you're just not telling a story very well?
Oh, yeah. Compare this to the Resident Evil movie we just talked about.
Oh, yeah. No, that one did it really well.
That movie also has a lot of expository dialogue and all that stuff, but all the actors and all the whole humorous dialogue works because the actors have charisma, the characters all have little personalities. Like
the story is going somewhere. You know?
Like an expository dialogue isn't followed by the exact same expository dialogue, you know?
Yeah.
You know, for everything that was going on in that movie and all the faults of that movie, this is how it's done poorly. You know, like just truly poorly. Yeah. This movie feels like a bad knockoff of that movie sometimes, you know?
Well, like, here's the funny thing. Like, I remember we were watching it. Weren't you the one who said, like, God, this feels like an Asylum ripoff of a Resident Evil movie?
Which is almost unfair because I feel like an Asylum movie would be even more.
Oh, it'd be even worse. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
This movie's bad, but it's not Asylum levels of bad. No. You know?
Asylum is at best, Asylum can be so bad it's good, but that's rare.
Yeah, because Asylum movies are so bad they'll convince you your favorite character actors can't act because they only got one take, and it's one of those.
Yeah.
Wait, I just learned the line 2 seconds ago. We're going with the first take. Are you serious?
I could do another take. Honestly, come on.
We could just do it right now. You know.
Too bad.
Yeah, Graham Greene's a great actor, but if you based your opinion of Graham Greene's acting based on what was it? Arctic Rim.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you'd be like, this guy can't even act.
True.
You know?
True.
You know, you'd be convinced that this guy sucked, and then you would have no idea how good he fucking was in, like, everything else.
Yeah. Fair.
You know? Oh.
Anyway, my fellow Gorehounds, I've kind of run out of things to say about this movie. It's just not good.
No.
You know, it kind of fails on every level. The one thing it has, the one thing I was able over the course of this review to find the one redeeming quality is the one monster effect that it has.
Yeah, the monster is not bad.
I just wish the monster had a better movie around him.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't even have to be a great movie.
No.
It could just be a fun, dumb movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it could have been like, oh my god, brain monster. They developed a brain monster in fucking Death Valley. And it's like, not only is it like a zombie, but it like psychically controls you. It's got a giant brain. You know, and you'd been like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, like, we could have just eight-legged freaks or big-ass spidered it, you know? Those are good. Those are fun movies.
I'll say this. As much as people like to complain about this, I will take a movie that is intentionally dumb and leans into the fact that they don't have the budget or anything and just has fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
Over a movie that doesn't have the talent, doesn't have the ability, and is so self-serious that it's just annoying.
Well, I mean, like, every trauma movie proves that you can get over a lack of almost anything else as long as you have the writing and the humor.
Exactly.
You know, you could get over almost any other part artistically.
Trauma movies also show that even bad actors can have great charisma.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's a big difference between, like, for example, like Trent Haga or Dave Matty.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing in this movie, which is sort of like, all right, you cast these guys because of their headshots.
Yeah.
That I don't care if they're blandly good looking.
You know what movie you should watch instead of this one? Overlord. Everything this movie promises, Overlord will deliver way better. And that's my last thought. So,
yeah.
Where can they find you, Count Jackula?
Yeah, or Frankenstein's Army.
Oh, that's another good one.
That's
another good one.
Yeah. You can or VHS 1994, that one segment.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
right.
If you see all those things, you'll understand what ties all that shit together.
Yep.
You can find me on Twitch, and I'd love to see you there. Twitch.tv/count_Jackula, where I stream at least twice a week on Tuesdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you want to be alerted at the random times I stream that aren't that, you should follow me on Twitter @CountingJack. And if you just want to see me shitpost, that'd be Satanic Jackula at Instagram.
There you go.
And I would appreciate it if I saw you on all the 3 of those sites, because, I don't know, more the merrier.
True.
More the merrier. And what about you?
Y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, on Facebook, and Instagram. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema, and I'll be there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. That was loud.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just nervous tick there.
Be sure to check out our Patreon pages, and remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, hashtag Nope Valley. If you made it this far into the vlog, then I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below with hashtag Nope Valley. That way I know you watched this vlog all the way through. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, this is the last vlog for the week. So I'm going to go rest my voice after talking for the last 2 hours. Peace out.
Man, I hate this.
Like not liking something this bad?
I hate it. Yeah, I really hate it because it feels like... Because someone did put, like, effort into it.
True. Like, you can tell, like, someone thought, like, there's probably a screenwriter out there who, like, this was their movie, right? They put it together, they finally got it sold, it got made, and, you know, same thing with the director and all that stuff. So I don't like shitting on dreams like that by being like, it's a bad movie, your movie sucks.
Yeah.
I do not get off on that.
No. It feels bad because, like, you just want people to do better.
Yeah.
You know, you just want people to do better. And in my heart of hearts, I always like hope that happens. That the next thing that the person does is actually quite brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's like not a movie, if it's sort of like, all right, I tried movie, I'm bad at that. Let's do something else. And then they just do something else amazing.
Yeah.
You know, or if they come out with the second film, you're like,
Hey, there you go.
There you go. That was
good. There are
good.
plenty of filmmakers where I didn't like their first movie, but I like their second movie.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
So,
Yeah.
I don't want this... If in the rare case, the filmmakers who made this movie are watching this vlog, I'm sorry for being so mean.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't like the movie. Keep on making films. Just don't...
Yeah, don't give up. Just realize this wasn't good enough.
No.
You know? Oh, God. You're like such an asshole.
I know the feeling.